Hello everyone, in our today's video we're going to create this amazing blog using Next.js and React as well as Sanity and Tailwind CSS. So first of all, as you see, we have a very dynamic header. Then we have our content here where we can see our blog, and we hover, you see the feature blog is available here. Then we are having this all the categories which the blog is underlying, so we can get all over the category section here. And right now, as you see, we are just rendering some of the blocks which is required to showcase here. And after that, we have also a footer where we can just connectively connect the audiences to how it can be follow through. If we now click any of that a single block, as you see, we are now coming on that particular slag for this particular block, and then we can just go through, read all of those things, and then at the end of this, like at the bottom, we are also having a contact segment. But right now, as you see, we can't submit, or every field is disabled because please log in to write a comment. So if anyone wants to just fall back through and comment, they need to go and logged in. So if we click, and after click, there is a lot of options like email and password, and also there is like a sign in. We'll go with the sign in with the Google, and after signing with the Google, we will be able to just to go and like to create our, as you see now this button is available. So now if we fill up and do everything right, we will be able to submit that comment also. By the way, we can also see like the other section here, like others properties of the blog. And if we go in our home, and now there should be a supportive way how we can go with the category filtering. As you see, if we filter with the nature available blog, it will be appear, which is not available right now. If we go with the company, you can see the company blog, it will just come and forecast. If we go with the knowledge, it will showcase the blog. So now as you see, we can fetch all the blocks here. And also, by the way, all the things is just highly responsive. And also pretty much if we like if we want to go in login right now, as we are in logged in mode, see, we can't fetch the route. And by the way, it's fully responsive, and as you see, all the things working perfectly aligned, all the page and all the things, it will be just as well as too good as it's supposed to be. If we go in the single, you see, fully responsive mode, and is pretty conducted. So now as you see, we are going to use a lot of things. If we just go in the repo here, which I'm gonna share you right now, because all the code is available right here. If you go in the package, you can just visualize we're using that headless UI, and also the Sanity, and also for that motion Next-Auth, and as you see, all are updated version. So right now, to start with that, all the things which we are building here right now, it will be, I'm going to provide you all the codes, and I will show you how you can configure and just make these things happen, because the link, it will be also in the description, so that you can go and know how you can start and how you can go through it. But to start with that, you just need to clone that. So if you just clone anywhere it is possible, you can go with the HTTPS, SSH, GitHub CLI. That's up to you how you can clone. So I'll go with the easy one, which is the HTTPS. I'm gonna copy that code. Then in my, I'm just taking a dummy file, like an empty folder here, which name is build. I'm going to open my terminal right here, and on the terminal, what I need to do to clone my application. And by the way, again, I'm saying everything, every single code is written here. So you just need to go and modify it. You just need to go and just follow all the steps, which I'm gonna showing you right now. So let's write git clone, paste the command, so it will just initialize your application. If I put Alice, as you see, my blog 2025 is available. Let's cd into my underscore blog underscore 2025. If I put Alice now, as you see, I am now within my project. Now also from here, you can just drag and drop in the Visual Studio Code, or any code like Cursor or WebStorm, whichever you're using. You can just open it from there, and I will just make that code space dot to open it within my code editor. Let's close that. And after getting everything right, you just need to, the first instances, you need to open your terminal right here, because first of all we need to install all of our dependencies. So from here I can use the PowerShell, but I will go with my git bash here. And right now I will need to run my first command, which will enable me to install all of the dependencies. So npm I, or you can just write npm install. Now before starting forward, I just want to go in a quick overview from bottom to top. So first of all, as you see, we have a tsconfig.json file, which is the TypeScript configuration for my project, and the tailwind config.ts file. As you see, we are configuring the font family, border radius, so all the things is just a tailwind configuration is aligned here. And beside that, we have that sanity config.ts, which will be responsible to get the configuration of a sanity setup. Then we have our sanity CLI.ts. Also, it will help us to just configure our sanity command line. We have a sanity typegen.json file, which are pretty much basically creating all the type format for our application layer. Like as you see, we are going to use that blog, and it's actually having a particular preferences, and which will enable us to go and generate the type for it, and that's the one which will help us to get it. And that's readme and postcss config.mjs. Then we have our package.json. Here, as you see, if I run npm run typegen, all the schema going to extract, and then it will generate our typo. Then we have our package-log.json file, which will responsible to get that package configuration. We have next.config.ts file, where we are having two setup, which is for the remote patterns. For one is for the Sanity, and one is for the Google image. After signing, we are using that. Then we have our middleware, and also responsible for our authentication. We have eslint.config.mjs, which is the ESLint configuration. Then we have our auth.tss. This is the where we can add more provider, and we can just go through just adding the manual sign up option if you are willing to. We have the git ignore. Then we have our .env file. That's the one which we need to configure. As you see, I will take that one at the top. We have the next public sanity project ID, next public sanity dataset, and next and sanity API token. There's three things we need to configure to connected our application, because as you see, we are using Sanity as a backend here. So if you want to use the backend, we just need to go and configure the Sanity. Now we have the node modules and also the public folder. Now pretty much basically I'm not using any public structure here. Then we have our source folder. Here everything going to be loaded, as you see. And by the way, that's the first and foremost. If you doesn't configure, if you doesn't have those things here in this file, your application may be broken. It will not run properly, because I'm going to show you how it's gonna be look like and how it will react once we are going to running our application. Now here we have one Sanity folder, where is our Sanity schema types and also our library, by which we will fetching the data from there, fetching the how we can showcasing the image, how the live configuration going to happen. Then we have also our schema in the index. As you see, we have several schema, which is the block content type, category type, post type, auto type, and the comment type. So all the type is defined here. If we go in the comment type, how the comment going to be look like and how it going to work, you can just eval through it and you can review it, so it will make a lot of sense to you. Then we have our queries, which is helping us to fetch the data. As you see, the post query, which is applicable to get our post data. Then also we're getting the feature post. We are passing the number value by which we are grabbing that post. We have the query params, then also the params. So, and also all post queries there, and the get all post function there. And as you see, the categories query, post query. So all the query, like all the data is coming from our server, from the Sanity. So that's the one we are writing here, how the data going to be interact with there and how it will be aligned there. So that's all the configuration, all the parameter is just written there. We have structure, we have types. That's the types definition file which we are generating using just npm run typegen. So all the block types is just right there. If you just change any of that, you just need to run npm run typegen, and it will generate a new type for your new schema types. Then we are having our components, which is showcasing every single thing. Pretty much all the things you are visualizing here is coming from those component pages. So like the banner, this is the banner, right? Then we have our button, and as you see, everything we are using here is pretty much slick and cool. So we are forcing ourselves to create all of the things as much dynamic as possible. Now, I'm providing you all the code, so you feel free to just to explore a bit before jumping or jumping to exercising anything. You see all our dynamic happening here, all the container, all the feature post, everything is right here. Then we are having here our app. So this is the most perfect one which you need to configure. As you see in that positioning here, we have one folder which called user, and then we have our login, we have our studio, we have our API. Now why we separate the user? As you see, if we go back to our logged in, if we just try to go login, you see the header and footer is not present anymore here. So it's a different kind of layout which you're using, which is not actually the user layout. So that's why we're shifting, we change all of those positioning. So now in the user, we have 2 pages, like not 2, I think 3 pages. So we have the main page which is contain everything. Then we have our post, which is going to post a Slack component which presenting our like the single page of the post. And then we have our category which is forecasting also the similar things for as like the post. So after that, we have also the proportioning grid for our API. We have one auth route and it's all configured. We have our create comment routes where we are getting the comment and we are sending that comment to our backend and passing the response from there. Then we have the login. Similarly, we are using the login authentication. If anyone having the user session, we are not letting user to view the login page. If there is no session, it will redirect here. Then we have our studio globally, which is responsible to showcase our studio. We have our global CSS, we have our layout, we have our not found 404 page also. Now I think we are installed everything properly. So first command, it should be running npm run dev to run our application in our localhost 3000. Now this link, it will be in the description. This also, it will be in the description. Find the tune, clone it, and you're gonna have everything. And why I'm saying you that, because as you see, everything I tested and it's working perfectly, so you will have to no worry. Just I'm gonna showcase some of the setup which you need to follow, how you can run things, how you can write things. That's up to you, so that you can, because this data I need to pour on, right? You need to configure those data, and I'm gonna show you how you can do that too. So right now, as you see, is let's just run that one in our localhost 3000. And first thing first, I need to go, if you are following me right now, feel free to follow the same thing which I'm doing. First, we need to follow this dynamic motion. We need to get that next public Sanity project ID, dataset, API token. So that's the one we need to configure. As you see, the configuration must contain project ID. And to do that, we'll go with the sanity.io. So you need to open an account there to work with. So I used my Google, Google email to open the account. It's pretty simple. You can open the account, and as you see, now you can initialize the project through the command line. And as I integrated everything beforehand, we need to create a manual project. How you can do that? As you see the plus new button, click here, just create a new project. I'm gonna just pass that project as let's say my blog 2025 _ YT. And by the way, don't try it, and you can choose your organization. At the beforehand, you should create a first or a personal organization whenever you are starting in Sanity. So let's create a project. And by the way, whatever especially all of those key I'm using, don't try to copy paste that one, because it will not work for you. I'm going to remove that project dataset from there. try to use your own keywords as much as possible. So now as you see, I have one project ID. I'm going to copy that. So that's my project ID and dataset. I'm going to just go with my dataset as a production tune. That's it. So now if we go here and if we just reload, we should be able to see our application layer. Now what is about here? There is a problem with the server configuration. Okay, no worries. We will this the auth problem here. We also need to configure. And now also I need to grab one API token, and that API token will be responsible to grab my comment there. So let's click on API. Got it. And on the API, I will just go and add a API token. Here I'm going to pass that name as a developer token, which have the access to read, write and edit. So I'm going to pass the developer permission here, save. And after saving, I will copy that and then I'm going to just paste that here. Okay, so now this dataset configuration is done. If we just open that one in a new terminal, because I want to access my studio here, so it should be available in the /studio, because as you see, we embedded our studio within our project. So same app, we have that route, which is the studio, which is typically a folder, and then we are having our configure route, so we should be able to grab that one. Now it's still loading. At the first instances it will take a bit of time, so no worries about it. Feel free to go with the motion. Okay, still it's loading now. So now it is stuck with the course policy. It's writing here, to access your content, you need to add the following URL as a course origin to your Sanity project. You can either copy that one, or you can just go over here, and as you see in the course, it's just passing here localhost 3000 over there. So I need to just embed it here as 3000, and I will just pass that allow credential and save, so that it should be just going through now. As we are just allowing that core policy, we should be able to just go and view here. So now I need to just configure my application layer. I'll go with the same account. Remember, the same account, which account you are accessing, this one need to be similar, otherwise it will pop up a lot of error and you should not be able to get that. Now first of all, I need to generate some posts, right? So how you can consume all the posts? So you can just come over here, and right now I will just let's say open image in a new tab. I'm gonna grab that image to just configure there. Save image, let's say blog 1, just passing a blog. So I'm gonna just try to replicate that one, right? So in my post over here, I will click a new post so that it should be appearing here. So the title of my post is this one, right? So let's go here, and it's still loading, and it should take a bit of time. So the title, this one, the title. Now I need to generate the slide, which is pretty much typically going through my title. Also I need to pass my author. It doesn't have any author, so I will create one author here, and for the author just pass my name and the slide, and for the image I'll just pass that image only. Okay, just passing any of the image. You can pass your own image, and you can also pass one bio here if you wanted to. I'll just publish that one so that it will okay, it's completed, I think. Okay, the image, I need to change that, because you need to make sure the image should be either PNG or JPG, not APIF, so it cannot compress the data like that way. So now I have my author. I need to grab the main image, so this will be my main image. It will work. No, I need to grab it as a PNG. Anyway, I will change that image, so let's just try this one. Okay, done. And there will be an alternative text which showcasing the alternative scenario here. So that's the one. So just passing that one, that text. And I need to also grab the categories. I'm going to add a new item. So let's just create a category to just go with a new category. And this one, as the category and title is just passing that inside category, I'm going to just pass the similar proportion here, should be in insights. and getting the Slack. If you want to pass the description, it's up to you. You can, but I'll just go through in a normal proportion. You can choose a multiple category here and publish date. I'm gonna just choose the date, and okay, the date which I'm just in on, I'll just go and select that one. Then now need to pass the body. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just grab all of these, because those all the things is going to be passing as a body. So just till here, copy, and because this is just like you can add the text proportion as the way you want, you can restructure it. Now in between also you can add more images if you are willing to. So let's just upload one image here and done. So and after that, okay, so now also it should be available in the feature, and exert a proportion what we can give. Right now I'm gonna just keep it like that. Let's just publish that data and see how it will feel and how those things can run. So now as you see, my blog is published here. If we come over here and reload, I should be able to fetch one blog. If I click, and it should be rendering in the single block, and as you see, I can just go through and read like that. The data is created. Now you can go and create multiple segment here. You can go and because I don't want to pass those data for you, because this is up to you what kind of data you are willing to refetch and prefetch. This is totally up to you. Okay, I'm gonna just try to generate the Slack in between. Okay, cool. Publish. So I should be able to have a two certain blog parameter right now. If we go in my bloggers, and if I just, you see, two, you can just reconstruct the image, because the image is coming, which I'm not willing to. So right now what I'm gonna do, as I'm using my previous data set, so I'm gonna change my data set here, so I should be able to get all the blogs data which I need to prefetch. So if I go here and pass that, and also I need to change my token here, so that I should be also passing that one. So right now, as you see, I changed my data set, I changed my token. So right now I can view all of the data, which I'm using the same data set here. But for you, as I'm saying, you need to upload the project, upload the data. That's the main thing for you. You just need to go and upload the way you are looking forward. But right now it's okay. I'm gonna leave that one. So it's now time to go and convert the other things. Now we need to configure our authentication, right? So how we can configure our authentication? To go through that, I will go with that Authjs, and you can click on the get started. The way I started here, all the configuration is done according the documentation is saying that. As you see, we have Authjs, we have our all the configuration setup, middleware and others, because we are using the Next.js, and the thing is already installed in our project. Now how we can just generate that npx Next-Auth secret? If you run in the npx-auth secret, it will also pass that one, but you can also go with that OpenSSL to generate the secret. But it's a pretty simple way. You can just copy this one, you can just take a new terminal from here, and on that terminal paste that command npx-auth secret, and it will just the normal thing is that it will create one .env.local file, which is we're not using. We are using only that env file. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just grab those code, right? Copy that, and let's say auth secret. So the secret, it will be right here. Paste it, and I'm gonna remove that .env.local, which is not required right now. So as we suggested things done, we need to get our auth Google ID, auth Google secret. These two things you can just grab from there. You need to go with that Google developers, Google Cloud Console, and actually it's already written in the documentation. Feel free to go read in that Authjs documentation, and you can find all the answer there. So right now I'm gonna choose my account, which I am preferring to create one application. So here I need to create one application. If you are having the Google ID, you can just pass over here. So from there, let's go in and create a new project here, and I'm gonna pass the project name, which going to be okay, you have 12 projects remaining. Okay, I can request and increase, you have 12 projects remaining in your quota. Still I have remaining, right? So I can use it. So my blog, I'm gonna pass that YT create. So my application is creating. As you see, you can just monitor over here. So be ensure whatever I'm doing, you are in the right proportion, otherwise you're gonna get the error. So in the all, as you see, if you just go in the recent where my blog YT right here, so as I'm over here, I need to go and create the credentials. So whenever I'm trying to create the credentials, I need to first go pass with the consent screen. So I need to configure the consent screen. So that consent screen is responsible to configure all the setup. So get it started. And from there, I need to provide the app name. Let's just provide the similarities, supportive email, which the my manual email. Next, and the internal and external, I want all the users can access those route and access that login permission. So I will pass the external and internal for the tester, and for if you want to go and make the access only restricted. So I'm gonna pass that let's say what we can say. If we just go here, audiences, if we go app information, I want to copy that because I want to use the same email. So contact information, next, and next, and I agree, finish, and create. So now my consent screen is done. So I need to grab the credential by which we can process all the setup. Okay, now I need to go and create a auth client, and that will provide me that auth client positioning. So configure, actually I did that, so I think it's maybe tracking problem. I'll go in the credential again, and that one I just did, right? So if we go create auth client, configure, okay, maybe that's the things done, right? So supportive logo, add domain, they bring up some of the new setup. Okay, I just need to go and create the client. To make auth client ID, you must first configure your consent screen, and I configured, right? App logo, I provide domain not require. Okay, I'll hit reload if something is up. If we go in overview, okay, that should here. So it's just taking a bit of time to access that one. It's just getting a little lazy. So now I need to get from their OAuth client ID. So create on that. And first of all, I need to choose what kind of application I have. I have web application, and be remember, don't try to use any other and it will not work. So be chosen web application. And first of all, I need to add my URI, which the URI will be my localhost 3000, and that's where my account configuration going to routing. Okay, localhost 3000, don't put the / after that, and authorized URL, it should be that localhost 3000 API auth callback Google. And I'm gonna create my application. And after creating that one, as you see, I'm passing that client ID. So this will be the client ID which I'm looking here, and also I need to pass that Google secret here, which going to be that secret. Okay, so that's the two things which I'm requiring. And if you are like you didn't copy before, you can click here and you can just grab it from there. There is a client ID, there is a client secret. Now let's go back my application, hit a reload. You can make a hot reload, you can go a normal reload, it will work. Let's click on the login. And by the way, before I'm logged in, let's just try if it's responsive. If we click, okay, super cool, it's fully responsive, so means everything is working perfectly. So create logged in, and I'll go with sign in with Google, and okay, we're good. We can now sign in with our Google account, and as you see, we are right here. And if we go, pretty much we can just like align and pass that comment. You can try with your own, because remember, I'm using my different account, so that add some more content. If we submit here, You can see, because now I need to configure the setup of my previous account, which it just need to coming from here of my studio. Now, if you're using your own account, no worries, it will work perfectly fine, right? So as you see, it will just passing the data here. You can just go and prefetch if unapproved comment, and then you can approve, and it will just showcase there. So it's just once you are trying that your blog, it will work perfectly. So right now, as you see, if you just access those entire things, your blog is ready, right? So now as you see, everything is working perfectly aligned, and you're having your own blog as simple as in a very easy way. Now, how we can deploy that one, right? We are having our blog, but without deploying it is not actually a good idea that is working perfectly. And to deploy that, first of all, let's go to our GitHub account. And remember, I already aligned that. So, but this one, it should be my your separate project, right? Not the one which I'm copying. So you need to create your own project. So let's just make that a demo blog. Okay. So, and I'm gonna choose my account. I'm gonna right now keep it as public. Create repository, right? And first of all, if you just access that over here, you can see there is a .git folder is there. What I want you to do, hard delete, shift delete, hard delete on that, or also you can do with the command line rm-rf.git. It will also remove the git within your project. And why I'm doing that? Because if you did the same things, it will just delete because you cloned my project, right? You need to remove that. Otherwise, if you push that, it will come in my project, not in your project. So now after creating that, and also I want to do one more things, I'll go in env file, not env.git ignore file. I don't want to pass my env, right? Also that should be hidden. Now I will do one command, git add dot, which will add everything, not everything right now, because if I put this status, you see git is not initialized. I need to pass that git init to initialize the git command, and git add dot and git commit, which will commit my product. So production ready, enter. So now everything is added. So these three commands will be responsible to get everything from there to here in the live. So now I'm pushing everything from my repo, and as you see, everything is just passing there. If you just reload, all the data right now available, and if you just look at here, there is no .env file, right? So now I want to deploy it using the Vercel. So let's go to create a new project. So from that add new, from the drop down, as you see, I need to select a new project, and from there I need to go with that. You see the demo blog which I created. Let's just import that one, and after importing, remember this env variables here. So I need to copy this, all of the 6, just copy that, because we are not passing that env, right? And I'm gonna paste it and deploy. That's it. So this is very simple way to just like add your environment variables from your project to a Vercel. Now it's just deploying. I think right now you should not have any error, but you know, I deployed it beforehand. Let's see if we are passing any unnecessary error, then we can just together we can follow through and resolve the problem. And by the way, if you're facing either any problem or any notion, let me know in the comments. I will try to reach and help you. And also you can grab that, because after doing those things, I'm gonna go create another new project, which it will be also available very soon, which is a simple portfolio, like a resume project. As you see, also the blog integration is right here. So all the things, it will be available, and the similar things which I'm doing here, you're gonna grab all the code, you're gonna get the code, I'm gonna show you, and I'm gonna also show you how you can configure that. So no worries about it, and it's gonna just come up pretty soon. If you now, there is two things in the comments. You need to write if you want me to do it from the beginning to end, like code to code, or I will provide the code. Like I will get as long as 20 comments, first 20 comments. If you are passing, if you are winning, that you want the code, or if you're winning, that you want from building from the core and show every single step. So I'm going to create a video on every single step. So it's up to you how the way you want it to be. Let me know in the comments. If you want the code only, I'll provide the code and I will show you the configuration the way I'm showing here right now. Okay, so it's up to you. Let me know in the comments. I'm waiting for your responses. Maybe I will wait till 20 comments and let's see who is the winner and who is the getting the things. Now, as you see, everything is compiling. And by the way, if you just showcase in my package.json file, why I'm just showcasing here, you can see it's a Next 15, right? And also React 19, React DOM is 19. So maybe you can get some of the errors, some of the bad configuration. I'm not sure, maybe you can get because it's a new thing. So for that purposes, you need to just write sure you did every single step the way I showed you. And after dealing that, there is one little configuration here. Okay, as you see, we created our project, we deployed it in Vercel. So our blog, it should be live now. Let's continue to dashboard and we will be able to see our domains. Okay, demo blog hana vercel.app. So if we go here, as you see, oh wow, our blog application is running. Now one thing we need to configure here, you see that link, I need to copy it. Remember, we have that one here. We need to add that one also in our URI so that in the normal configuration we can access that. Also need to pass that API auth Google and let's say save. Okay, now how you can add, because from there you cannot access your studio, right? Remember, you just need to add your course policy. You need to just update the course policy same way which we did right now. We add this one here. You just need to add this one also for your course policy. It will pass the message, of course. It's loading, no worries. You see, you need to add the course, but I'm not gonna use the course right now because I know the error. So right now, if we go back and try to log in, it's going to work, or let's see. Okay, sign in with Google, and yeah, that's working. That's very simple to do, really. So now this comment section, as you see, if you are not signed in, it's pretty simple and pretty valid. If you not connected, not sign in, you cannot access all our unreachable for you. So right now, as you see, our bloggers application is on live. You see, pretty simple. I think it's just taking half an hour for you when you're having your own blog. It's very much simple and highly responsive and fully customizable. And by the way, it's really working perfectly because everything you render is server side. And by the way, you can also inspect that one. Like just to check how this one is performing, you can just check the performance data. You could go in the Lighthouse, analyze the page load and everything, because all the data is coming from the server. Remember, pretty much less data we are pointing to our client side, so it should be pretty fast, very basic, and also the SEO everything. You see, 97% performance, accessibility 100, best practice 96, SEO 96. Now you can tune that. I'm just not tuning because we can do it, and it's fully responsive. That's the good things. If you just click, wow. If you go here, and you can activate those things if you wanted to. But I'm just going in a very easy way, very basic way. It's up to you. You can create the login authentication, those purposes, and you see, wow, very simple. And please do like the video and subscribe the channel if you're finding that really helping you. Okay, so I wish all the best. If you're having any problem developing that, any problem cloning that or accessing that, let me know in the comments. I will try to help you. Okay, so all the best, and I'm very much positive that I'm gonna just see you on that creating this one. So if you are looking for that one, let me know in the comments. I'm really waiting to provide all of this data to you, provide this entire project to you. Let me know in the comments and try to see try to configure which way you are looking for. And all the best, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.